Welcome to the Thinking Big podcast. Today, we are going over the third step to success, the step on autosuggestion, the medium for influencing the subconscious mind. I recently hosted a live 14-day Think and Grow Rich challenge that benefited Feeding America, and it was a huge success, and I thought it would be such a great idea to put that challenge right here on the podcast for everybody to enjoy. So for 14 straight days, I will be releasing a brand new podcast with the associated challenge that covers all 13 steps of Think and Grow Rich, plus a bonus challenge on the introduction. And it doesn't matter if you've ever read Think and Grow Rich or not, the challenge is designed for anybody to do. So follow the link in the show notes so you can sign up for free and get downloads of all the challenge worksheets, plus a free PDF copy of the original Think and Grow Rich book. So today, we are thinking big on autosuggestion.
Welcome to the Thinking Big podcast with Sean Osborne, the show helping you think bigger into your life and potential. Sean believes by equipping you with the tools, strategies, and philosophies required to be successful in all aspects of your life, you can achieve anything you believe in. Empowering our own growth makes a deeply positive and lasting impact on our lives, community, and our world. Now, here's Sean.
Welcome, everybody. Tonight is day 5, and we are doing the challenge on the step of autosuggestion. This is such a critical step for people to do. This is really the keystone of them, and you're going to find out why within tonight and within this challenge. So I hope you are ready to go. We're going to start off with a few of my favorite quotes that have to do with autosuggestion, that have to do with your mind and do with exactly what this talks about in this chapter. Number 1, Oprah. Yeah, Oprah. I know for sure that what we dwell on is who we become. Buddha. All that we are is a result of what we have thought. The mind is everything. What we think, we become. That is such a powerful quote. Trent Edwards. Thoughts lead to purposes. Purposes go forth in action. Actions form habits. Habits decide character, and character fixes our destiny. And Goethe. All truly wise thoughts have been thought already thousands of times, but to make them truly ours, we must think them over again, honestly, until they take root in our personal experience. We've got to think of those thoughts until they take root into our personal experience. So tonight we're talking about autosuggestion. I think about it as the way that we hack our minds. This is how you do a mind hack. This is how we place things in our subconscious, because there is no limitations to the mind except those that we acknowledge. Both poverty and riches are the offspring of thought. And I'm not talking about poverty and just money. I'm talking about poverty in who you are. Not money. It's poverty in who you are. I've known some very wealthy people that to me are in poverty because of who they are. It's not about money. And this is really, as I said, this is the cornerstone of this book. Almost all of the other chapters kind of support this method or this thought of autosuggestion on programming our subconscious minds. And autosuggestion is, kind of a term which applies to all suggestions and that is self-administered through, the reach of one's, through our 5 senses, what we see, what we hear, what we feel, what we taste. All of these are our senses that bring stuff into our conscious mind, and they are stopped by the conscious mind and kind of vetted before they're passed along to our subconscious mind. I talked about the Porsche principle. Things that we become consciously aware of, we all of a sudden start seeing those and noticing those. There is thousands and thousands and thousands of things going on around you that you don't even see. So if you are not money conscious or you're not success conscious, you're going to be seeing the things that are in line with that. You're going to be seeing the things that are poor, the things that hold you back. You're going to be seeing all those things. You're not even going to see the things that can bring you forward for you to even make a choice on whether or not you want to do it. So you have to place those in your mind to even be aware of those. Right now your BS is stopping most of the things from getting in. And again, BS is your belief system. Your belief system is absolutely, blocking most of the stuff that you see, hear, taste, touch, and smell. You're not even aware. You're only consciously aware of such a small portion of what's actually being transmitted into your mind. And autosuggestion is really the agency of communication between that part of your mind where the conscious, thought takes place, and that which serves as the seat of action for the subconscious mind. And it's through the dominating thoughts which one permits to remain in the conscious mind, positive or negative. Autosuggestions voluntarily reach the subconscious mind and influence it with these thoughts. Again, positive or negative, any of your thoughts that you constantly have are going to transmit and really do autosuggestion. And it seems like by default we do autosuggestion for negative things, but we're not placing our positive things in the same light. No thought, absolutely zero thought, positive or negative, can enter the subconscious mind without the aid of this autosuggestion, without the aid of this self-suggestion. Nothing can get through to the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind, again, it acts as the filter between the two. And you have absolute control over the material which reaches the subconscious mind. You have absolute control. And matter of fact, in the Think and Grow Rich Mastermind that I do, we dive deep on how we've been programmed at a very young age and how we've developed our belief system. How we see the world is based on kind of how we've been programmed. And that's really what, again, it populates itself. That's what becomes your belief system. That's what becomes what you see, what you hear. Now, the ability to, reach and control, your subconscious mind, it is a gift, but it also has a price. And it's got a pretty big price. And the price is, and it's something we've already gone over, the price is persistence. You have to be persistent, and you have to decide, if the outcome is worth you being that persistent to get it. This is a you and you deal. Are you willing to persist until to get what you want? And where failure and, you experience failure and you go through failures, you've got to make another effort. You got to change your plan. You got to keep going. You got to get up. You got to do it again. Back then when this was done, he didn't really have a name for that. But I think in the 60s, you have Dr. Maxwell Maltz who did psychocybernetics. And this kind of ties directly into psychocybernetics, where you do something, you evaluate, you adjust, then you do it again, you evaluate, you adjust, you do it again, you evaluate, you adjust. And for every failure, you've got to find another way to do it. When you fail, you've just found a way not to do it. Find another way. Persist. But is that worth what your goal is? That's what you have to decide. And the subconscious mind takes any orders given it. It takes any order that you give it when it is in the spirit of absolute faith. And it will act upon those orders. Now, here's the thing. It's got to get those orders many times. You got to do it over and over again. That's why we do these auto-suggestions daily. That's why we always have to do it. We always have to do it. We always have to do it. You have to bombard it. You've got to drip that information to your subconscious. Drip, 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 until it finally soaks in and you finally get it. And it finally is able to interpret, what you're doing. The subconscious mind can finally interpret what you're trying to do. And consider this, consider this whole autosuggestion. Consider this whole chapter, this whole idea as really playing a perfectly legitimate, mind hack on your subconscious mind. This is a perfectly legitimate, this is how you hack. This is how you put something in your subconscious mind voluntarily. You have to do it with autosuggestion. And basically what you're doing when you're doing that, you're making it believe because you believe. You've said it so many times that you believe it. You make it believe that you must have that amount of money. You must have that whatever it is you desire. If you want to be the head chef in a Michelin 5-star restaurant, it's because it's going to work that way because you believe that you have it already. And by you believing, it believes, and you're telling it must have this by visualization, by doing these auto suggestions and visualization. That money, the money is already there, that you're already in the kitchen, you're already doing that thing. You've got to have that in your mind. And, being at, once you see yourself in possession, you're doing that. We've done with these auto suggestions. You see yourself, and once you see yourself in possession of that money, demanding and expecting, meanwhile, that your subconscious mind will hand over to you the plans that you need. So when we're planning these things in daily, we have to have the expectation and really demanding that our subconscious mind gives us those plans back, gives us those ideas back. And here's the thing, you got to be alert for those plans when they do appear. You're asking for all these things. You're planting these seeds, and more than likely what happens is you get an idea, and what do? That's a dumb idea. That'll never work. Those ideas are coming from somewhere. They're not just coming from, Netherland. They're coming from the ether. They're coming from spirit. Take those and look at them. Again, sometimes it takes a feather for me. Sometimes it takes a 4x4, but we've got to pay attention to those. And once we get those ideas, we have got to put them into action immediately. The longer that you let it sit, the more likely it's going to die. And when these plans appear, they're probably going to flash into your mind. What they normally do is you'll be driving down the road. They're going to flash in your mind through what we will go over. What we'll learn is the sixth sense. And it's really in the form of an inspiration. And if you take the word inspiration, it comes from the word inspiro, which is in spirit, or inspiro, which is in spirit. And that is infinite intelligence. So when you're getting that idea in your head, that's coming from spirit. That's coming from infinite intelligence. Now, here's the thing. Again, you've got to pay, when you get those ideas, you've got to pay freaking attention to them. And again, you're going to be driving down the road. You're going to start planning these. If you're doing this challenge and you're doing these every day, you're saying these things, and you're doing the work, and you're doing the auto suggestions, you will start to get ideas. They will start bouncing your head, and you've got to pay attention to them. And you must act upon them. And again, as I said, the longer you wait, the more likely it's going to die. You've got to treat those ideas with respect and do something the second that you get them. You send those thoughts to your imagination, and see what your imagination can do or will do to create plans for the accumulation of whatever it is you want. Your imagination is what's going to drive the plans. And that's really the mechanism for, transmutation of your desire into its physical port, is your imagination of those ideas. If we go back to, for instance, that story of the chef, he did the Think and Grow Rich plan perfectly by what he did to become the chef he is. He would get ideas. I'm sure he would get ideas pop in his head, and he would get, turn over to his imagination and say, okay, what could I do with these ingredients? I've got this idea of mixing this with this. I'm going to use my imagination. I'm going to see, what could I do with those things to make something that nobody else has done? You're turning over those ideas that you get, whatever they are, to see what can come out of those ideas through your imagination. And here's the thing. Don't trust your belief system when you're creating your plans. Trust this infinite intelligence. Trust these hunches that you're getting. Trust the sixth sense that you're getting. Don't trust your belief system. Your BS, your belief system is what got you where you are today. And here's the thing. When you get an idea, you're going to have that little voice inside your head that says, yeah, how you can do that? Who do you think you are? You can't do that. That's not going to work. Because your belief system is what got you where you are today. And here's the thing. Also, in addition to that, your belief system is lazy. It really is. It loves you. It will do anything for you, but it's lazy. Your belief system is lazy. It was built for survival, not for happiness. Your mind is built to make sure that you breathe another day, not that you're happy. So when you're trying to do things, these new things, and you're burning more energy, your body, your subconscious is saying, I don't want to burn that energy. Remember all those other times you tried shit and it didn't work? I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait to make sure this is really what you want. I'm going to wait to make sure. Your body and your mind is trying to hold you back because it loves you, it cares for you, it wants you to breathe another day. So what we're doing with this is we're actually, visualizing the money you intend to accumulate. You're visualizing the money. You're seeing yourself rendering the service for that. So go back to, whether it's riches or a chef of a Michelin restaurant, you've got to see yourself in the kitchen rendering that service. You got to see yourself already doing that, already having that, because that's what you're intending to give up in order to get what you want, whether it's the riches or the chef or whatever it is. You've got to not only see what you're getting, but you also have to visualize what you're giving. And as I said before, you have got to be extremely, extremely specific in what you're telling yourself in your subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind takes it literal and it will do funny things for you. It will absolutely, it's done it to me. Matter of fact, I was reading a book, maybe a month or two ago from Pam Grout, EMC squared or something. She was talking about this. She's a scientist, and she was talking about this, and she, challenged her class or challenged her, her clients to visualize and do this exact thing, visualize exactly what you want and see what happens. And she had a smart ass guy that was part of her thing. And he said, okay, I'll see if this works. I want 2 women or 2 females in the same bed. Hey, if you're going to ask. And within a week, he was sitting there laying in bed with his girlfriend, and her daughter came and climbed into bed. Not what he was expecting. So you've got to be extremely specific, because it's going to take it literal, and it doesn't know your meaning. You've got to be that specific on what it is you want. So here's the challenge for today. There's 2 challenges, actually a couple of challenges. And what we're doing is we're taking the challenge, really what this chapter is it's taking what we did in chapter 2 on desire and kind of putting it on steroids. So one of the things that we're going to do, I'm going to read this out, but this is all based on your statement of desire from day 2. And the first thing, number 1, is go into a quiet spot like your bed or somewhere else where you will not be bothered or interrupted. Close your eyes and repeat aloud so you can hear your own voice and words. Now, again, you're going to have to memorize, and you should be memorizing your statement of desire. And when you close your eyes and you do this, you're going to be saying your written statement of the amount of money that you desire. The time limit, what's the exact day that you're going to get this, and the description of the service or merchandise that you intend to give in return for the money received. For example, if you suppose that you intend to earn $100,000 by the first January 1st of 2021, and that you intend to give personal services in return for the money in capacity of coaching. Let's say for coaching, your written statement of your purpose should be similar to the following. And this is what I would repeat to myself with my eyes closed, seeing it, feeling it, is by January 1st, 2021, I will have in my possession $100,000, which will come to me in various amounts from time to time during the interim. In return for this money, I will give my most efficient coaching of which I am capable, rendering the fullest possible quantity and the best possible quality for all coaching services rendered. In return for this money, I believe that I will have this money in my possession. My faith is so strong that I can now see the money before my eyes. Remember, your eyes are closed. I can touch it in my hands. It now awaits transfer to me at the time. And in the proportion that I deliver services, that's big. And in the proportion of I deliver service, I intend to render in return for it. Now, here's a big part of that statement at the end of it. I am awaiting a plan by which to accumulate the money, and I will follow that plan when it is received. We just talked about this. When you get those ideas, you've got to act upon them. You've got to recognize them where you are. Recognize those plans where you are. See yourself already in possession of that money or whatever it is you're wanting. See it. See yourself already giving those services. If you're a speaker, see yourself up on stage. making, $10,000 or a speech. Imagine yourself up on that stage, all those people. You've got to dream it and imagine it like that and make it so real. We've talked about this with remembering your future. You have got to build that memory. And the second part of this, there's actually two parts. One, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do it a little bit different. We're going to pull a Jim Carrey and what he did. We talked about this. He wrote himself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered for a specific date. And you're going to do this other one. You're going to read it twice a day. You're going to put this where you can see it, where you remember it when you wake up and when you go to bed. But I want you to see that all the time. I don't want you to just see it in the morning and at night. I want you to see it all the time. So we're going to do this what Jim Carrey did and put it in your wallet. Put that check in your purse. Every time you open your wallet or your purse, I want you to see that check made out to you for the money that you intend to get on the date that you intend. And in the memo section, what you're giving in return for that money. Coaching services rendered, acting services rendered, chef services, whatever it is you're going to do in exchange for that money. Have that check, put it in your wallet, see it every time you open it. So you're going to repeat on this one, you're going to repeat it twice a day. Like I said, you're going to build that memory. You want it to be as vivid as a memory you've had in the past. As vivid, everything you can see in a memory from the past, you've got to see in the future. And secondly, what I want you to do is there's a big open box. And for the next 2 weeks, so until the 18th day, the last day of the challenge, I want you to write down and mark down any ideas or hunches that you have. I don't care if they are small, big, whether they make sense, whether they're stupid. Write those. I want you to become aware of those ideas when you have them. So by making you write them down, I'm hoping that you become aware of those ideas quicker, that it doesn't take a 2x4 to get there. So for 2 weeks until the last day of the challenge, put down any of these ideas, because I'm telling you, once you start doing these auto suggestions and you're planting those seeds things are going to start coming, and you got to be prepared, and you might not even realize them. So that's what so today's challenge, auto suggestion, is so important. Do these. It does work. It's not some woo-woo, mumbo jumbo. This shit actually works. It really does. Jim Carrey, we talked about that. Perfect example. That's exactly what he did. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So until tomorrow, fill that out. Make sure you have your complete statement that you're going to read twice a day out loud to yourself so you can hear your words and see your words, and start writing down those ideas when you have them. So until tomorrow's challenge, I will see you later. Feel free to email or put up on there any questions that you might have. I'm more than happy to answer those. And until tomorrow, I will see you later.